A man in North Carolina has pleaded guilty to ripping a hijab off a woman's head as they were on a flight. Gill Parker Payne is the man who was prosecuted for this, and it took place back in December of 2015. Now, he did plead guilty. He was charged with religious obstruction, and he faces 1 year in prison and a possible fine of $1,000. That's according to the Justice Department court filing. So the feds actually went after him for this. What happened basically was that shortly before landing, but while still in flight, he says, I stood up in the aisle and walked toward where KA, that's how she's identified, was sitting in the aisle. His plea document reads, he admitted to telling her to take off her hijab, stating something to the effect of, take it off, this is America.
Okay, I can't, look, we covered a story of a woman who complained about not something even this extreme, but somebody telling her that she should, get out of America because she's Muslim, was on a plane. And it sounded a little unbelievable, but we covered it, and then we found out there was a lot of witnesses saying it didn't exactly go down like that. And I remember when I was, bringing the update to the story, I was like, yeah, and see, that did, maybe I should have known better. That did seem a little too amazing. But here it is. This is even worse.
This is worse, yeah.
I mean, trying to rip somebody's hijab off them. So this is America, and he admits it now, so it's not like there's any confusion about the story at all.
Let me read another quote from him. I intentionally obstructed KA's free exercise of her religious beliefs. Why don't people read the Constitution? Like, people don't know what's in the Constitution. It's incredible, right?
They have no idea, of course. No, his comment, this is America, it goes in the ironic Hall of Fame. If you read the Constitution, which is what this country is all about, it says that everybody gets to have their own religion and they get to freely express it, and you can't stop them. So as you're stopping her free expression of speech, her free expression and her ability to exercise her religion, you're doing the most un-American thing you could possibly do, right? Now, look, the feds probably used it to go after him on a federal level, but to me, like, if he was on the ground and he's in a particular state, what I would have gone after him for is assault, right? Because stopping her exercise of her religion is kind of a weird charge. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
But that's exactly what he did, Cenk. What I would want is that he would get both charges, assault and, obstructing her free exercise of religion. Yeah,
no, the reason is like that. I hope that they would never, ever, ever apply that when it comes to something that's said, right? Because I've got my right to free speech. So, I mean, I can fight your religion with my speech anytime I want. That's also in the Constitution, right? I assume that this is for stuff that is physical, like maybe taking somebody's yarmulke off or ripping their hijab off or whatever it is. But still, it kind of makes that particular charge makes me a little uneasy. But overall, it doesn't really matter because he assaulted her and he should suffer the consequences for that.
Dude, and the incredible thing is, this woman was minding her own business. She wasn't even seated next to him. Not that that would be any excuse for him to do what he did, right? But she's minding her own business. She's on her flight. She's not causing any trouble or harm whatsoever. And he took it upon herself to go up to her and do what he did. It's disgusting. And honestly, this is the exact outcome of the Islamophobia that you see in the media, that you see perpetuated by some political figures in this country. And it's really a shame because when we have discussions about, oh, these terrorists and we can't let them win, they've already won, okay? They've already won because we've completely changed our behavior and we've become so disgusting when it comes to the way we treat certain individuals in this country.
Obviously, it's not all Americans, and I think a majority of Americans are still clearly against guys like this. But unfortunately, not only is there a significant minority that believes this way, but now guys like Trump have normalized it to the point where they're acting out on it, right?
That's right.
And then when you say, hey, don't do that, they go, well, it's the Muslims, dude. You're just not being honest about it, okay? Trump's is a truth teller, and some other people. It's the Muslims. It's the Muslims, man. Why don't you just say it? Because this is what happens when you normalize simpleton ideas like, it's the Muslims.
Yep.